Hey, creo que ya estamos en vivo. Perfecto. Si me escuchan, me pueden dar el OK. Si me ven por aquí también, yo creo que ya estamos empezando. Vamos a empezar. All right. Perfecto. Bueno, bienvenidos y bienvenidas a este programa de Project One de Digital IELTS Academy. Aquí te enseño el camino para pasar el IELTS en tan solo 8 semanas de preparación. Soy Joel y en este episodio vamos a hablar y vamos a practicar el IELTS speaking. O sea que vamos a tener esta oportunidad de poder realizar alguna de las diferentes etapas del speaking. Lo vamos a practicar y también les voy a dar feedback. Entonces espero que estén súper preparados para poder practicar hoy y que a todas aquellas personas que no van a practicar, también pueden ver todo lo que es la actividad que vamos a estar haciendo para poder aprender y luego en alguna ocasión también poder practicar. Así que bueno, primero que todo, antes de comenzar, me pueden escribir aquí en el chat de dónde me están viendo, también si ya saben cuál es el examen que van a tomar, tienen claro. Y si en algún momento tienen alguna pregunta relacionada al IELTS Speaking, que me lo puedan colocar aquí en el chat, les voy a estar ayudando con cualquier tema y también obviamente lo que pueda surgir de esta conversación, de esta práctica que vamos a tener aquí en vivo. Les recuerdo que esta serie es si eres un profesional y quieres pasar el IELTS para poder estudiar, trabajar o emigrar a un país de habla inglesa, entonces esta serie es para ti porque voy a estar hablando específicamente todos los temas relacionados a la preparación del IELTS para tomarlo y pasarlo en 8 semanas. En este episodio en particular vamos a estar practicando la etapa del IELTS Speaking porque es una de las etapas donde más tienen dificultades los candidatos, entonces por eso les voy a dar esta oportunidad para que podamos trabajar un poco sobre esto. Si tienen alguna pregunta, me van contando. Laura está de Colombia. Bienvenida, Laura, ¿cómo estás? Bien, les voy a ir dejando el link. Si quieren practicar, vamos a tener esta posibilidad de hacerlo. Lo único que tienen que hacer es ingresar al link que les voy a compartir en la sala de Zoom para que puedan ingresar. Entonces se los voy a dejar aquí en el chat para que puedan ingresar directamente. Perfecto. Lo único que tienen que hacer es ingresar a la sala de Zoom y voy a estar esperando para poder comenzar la práctica. Si bien estamos practicando el IELTS, va a ser algo más informal, no va a ser tan estricto como podría ser tal vez en el examen real. Entonces, si ya están listos, si quieres participar, Laura, puedes ingresar a la sala de Zoom para poder practicar juntos. Mientras voy esperando que alguien pueda ingresar, lo primero que vamos a hablar es qué incluye o qué es el IELTS Speaking. Lo primero que debemos saber sobre el IELTS Speaking es obviamente que tiene tres partes, o sea, vamos a tener diferentes partes y esas son tres en la parte del speaking. En la primera parte vamos a tener específicamente preguntas más generales, pero de nosotros. Puede ser preguntas sobre nuestro trabajo, preguntas sobre nuestros estudios, nuestro hogar, nuestra ciudad. Entonces son preguntas más generales de nosotros, sobre nuestra vida, como para comenzar a desarrollar un poco más la conversación entre el evaluador y nosotros. Entonces, esa es básicamente la parte uno. Es bastante simple. De hecho, podemos directamente practicar los temas porque generalmente hablan de temas específicos, como les dije antes, como la educación, el trabajo, tal vez hablan de la ciudad, hablan de aspectos más generales, entonces no es tan complicado como o las otras etapas del IELTS Speaking. Y eso es algo que nos beneficia muchísimo porque nos va a permitir tener esa posibilidad de poder practicar y poder sentirnos más cómodos y así avanzar y progresar en esta parte del IELTS Speaking. Entonces, esa es la parte una, ¿cierto? Vamos a la primera. Después vamos a la dos. En esta parte sí eh, vamos a tener 1 minuto para poder tener una actividad, nos van a dar una actividad en la cual nosotros vamos a estar pensando y podemos tomar apuntes también sobre lo que vamos a hablar. Tenemos 1 minuto para tomar apuntes, para crear nuestras ideas y ya luego vamos a tener 2 minutos para poder hablar sobre ese tema de forma constante, o sea, no vamos a parar en ningún momento. Y es ahí donde se puede tornar un poco más complicada la cuestión, porque en este caso ya sí tenemos más dificultades sobre el tema, tocar cada uno de los puntos que está en la cartilla o en la tarjetita donde sale la información, y otras veces no llegamos a concluir el tiempo, sino que paramos antes, no sabemos qué decir, empezamos a rondar en lo mismo que estábamos diciendo antes, y eso es cuando se puede tornar en un problema, obviamente. Y luego vamos a la parte 3, que en esta parte 3 ya sí está relacionada a la parte 2, pero en este caso en particular vamos a estar hablando sobre aspectos más abstractos del tema que hablamos en la parte 2. Por ejemplo, si estábamos hablando sobre vivir, por ejemplo, vivir en una ciudad grande, entonces te pueden preguntar cuál es tu opinión con respecto a las ciudades grandes, si hay mucha contaminación, o son temas más amplios, más abstractos, más de poder argumentar, y en este caso sí se puede tornar un poco más difícil, pero vamos a tener la posibilidad de que nos hagan más preguntas. No va a ser solamente una cartilla con la información como en la parte 2, sino que nos van a hacer varias preguntas y nosotros tenemos que ir respondiendo estas preguntas. Entonces, bueno, veo que Laura está por aquí. ¿Cómo estás, Laura?
Hola, buenas tardes, buenas noches.
Muy bien, te escucho muy bien, pero no te veo, Laura.
No, no venía preparada.
No, no te hagas problema, o sea que estamos en confianza.
Bueno, espera un momento, voy por mis gafas.
Está bien, dale, muchas gracias. Bueno, mientras Laura se va alistando allí, entonces quería saber si tienen alguna pregunta con respecto a las diferentes partes que les mencioné del IELTS Speaking. También, mientras voy leyendo si tienen alguna pregunta, pero antes entonces tenemos que pensar que también tenemos criterios de evaluación, y en nuestro puntaje se va a basar en aquellos criterios de evaluación. Por ejemplo, tenemos cuatro en el IELTS Speaking. Tenemos Fluency and Coherence, tenemos Lexical Resource, tenemos Grammatical Range and Accuracy y Pronunciation. Entonces, todos estos puntos van a tener un rol importante para que nos puedan dar un puntaje en la parte del IELTS Speaking, ¿cierto? Entonces, fluency and coherence hace referencia a nuestra fluidez cuando estamos conversando, qué tan coherente es lo que estamos diciendo, si tiene sentido lo que estamos hablando en nuestra respuesta, ¿cierto? Y luego, cuando estamos hablando de lexical resource, estamos hablando de el vocabulario. ¿Qué tan amplio es nuestro vocabulario? ¿Está en el contexto adecuado? Porque es importante también saber que hay algunas palabras y algunos tipos de vocabulario que encajan más en un contexto determinado y otros en otro contexto. Entonces, eso nos permite también tener un puntaje allí. Cuando hablamos de grammatical range and accuracy, estamos hablando de la gramática, las estructuras gramaticales, cómo estamos expresándonos, si tiene sentido que estemos hablando en el pasado em, con respecto a la pregunta que nos hicieron, o tal vez debería haber respondido en otro tiempo verbal de acuerdo a la pregunta. Entonces eso también es importante para tener en cuenta. Y finalmente tenemos la pronunciación, y en este caso de la pronunciación estamos hablando de cómo pronunciamos no solamente las palabras de forma aislada, sino también cómo pronunciamos las palabras, las oraciones y todo lo que nosotros vamos expresando, ¿cierto? Ojo que esto no tiene nada que ver con el acento. El hecho de que ustedes tengan un acento en particular no les va a afectar para nada en el puntaje, al menos de que por alguna razón de la pronunciación que tengan, digamos que puedan modificar la pronunciación de la palabra. Y esto sí puede ser un problema porque si nosotros estamos hablando de la comunicación, puede que no se entienda lo que quieren decir, ¿cierto? Sucede algunas veces que en algunos países tienen especial problema con algunas vocales, algunas consonantes. Por ejemplo, en español nosotros tenemos problemas cuando tenemos dos consonantes al inicio de una palabra. Por ejemplo, si hablamos de student, ¿cierto? Tendemos a decir student, le agregamos una vocal al inicio, porque es que nosotros no tenemos en español dos vocales de ese tipo juntas al inicio de una palabra. Entonces, eso es algo que puede que no nos va a afectar siempre y cuando no cambie el significado de la palabra, como puede suceder en otros contextos. No sé exactamente, pero hay algunas palabras que la de thank you, esta palabra la pronuncia como thank you. Y esto sí puede ser un problema cuando estamos expresándonos en el IELTS speaking. Entonces, no sé si Laura estás lista. Em,
Listo. Bueno, en
sí,
realidad no estoy lista. Yo como me inscribí, pero no tenía muy claro cómo iba a ser la actividad.
bueno, te cuento cómo va a ser la actividad. Es muy simple. Vamos a pasar por alguna de las partes del IELTS speaking. Posiblemente va a ser la primera y la segunda. No sé si estuviste presente cuando estaba explicando más o menos cómo era, o quieres que...
Sí, o sea, va a ser como no tan académico los temas, sino más un poquito de todo, como a nivel personal, o opiniones,
Ujú,
tipo
sí,
así.
es un tema más bien general. Entonces es como,
Ok,
eh, ya vas a ver que cuando te pregunte va a ser algo más de tu punto de vista o qué te gusta, no te gusta y así. Esa es
listo.
la parte uno. Ya la parte dos,
Ujú.
sí hay que tener un poco más de práctica en el sentido que vas a necesitar poder medir más o menos el tiempo que estás hablando, ¿cierto? Pero lo más importante, te voy a dar como un consejo antes de que iniciemos la parte dos, es en el momento que te voy a dar un minuto para que puedas, te voy a compartir la pantalla y vas a ver una, como una consigna, ¿cierto? Y la consigna va a tener unos puntos que debes tratar. Entonces, cuando llegue esa parte, te voy a pedir que traigas como un cuadernito o algo para anotar para que puedas escribir algunos apuntes sobre eso. Si quieres, si no lo tienes en este
Listo,
momento, no hay ningún problema. Y ya cuando lleguemos a esa etapa, te voy a pedir que lo busques para que puedas escribir un poco.
listo.
¿Sí? Bueno, pero primero, vamos a respirar, tranquila. Bueno, perfecto. Entonces, vamos a comenzar. ¿Tienes alguna pregunta antes de iniciar?
Tengo muchas preguntas. Bueno, en realidad es que yo no tengo como un plan así de corto plazo de
Ajá,
presentar el IELTS o el TOEFL, sino para el próximo año.
ok.
Entonces, de pronto desconozco un poquito su estructura, pero bueno, eso ya lo iré aprendiendo.
Qué mejor forma de aprenderlo que practicando, ¿no?
Sí,
Bueno, muy bien. Eso es importante de todas formas porque a veces el hecho de no saber a lo que nos vamos a enfrentar no permite que nosotros nos pongamos manos a la obra, así como decimos. Entonces el hecho de que ya estés acá, aunque no sepas cómo es, te va a permitir que vayas entendiendo la dinámica de una forma eh, más profunda porque lo estás haciendo.
listo.
Bueno, entonces yo voy a ir tomando apuntes para que tengas en cuenta, pero
Listo.
no te voy a interrumpir en ningún momento. Okay. Are you ready to start?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So in this first part, I'd like to ask you some questions about yourself. Okay. So let's talk about music. How often do you listen to music?
I listen to music at least once a day. Yeah,
Huh? And why? Why do you listen to music?
because I think it's a way to relax, to think in other things rather than work, or just to, I don't know, to enjoy yourself. Like,
All right. And do you prefer to download music from the internet? Do you prefer to use a special application?
actually, I don't have applications, but I used to like Spotify, and I listen music in YouTube.
Okay. All right. And tell me about, have you always liked the same kind of music or not?
No, I have a different taste in music. I can listen to salsa or reggaeton or rock. I listen to any kind of music. I am not into just one genre. I have a
Oh,
struggle like in this pronunciation.
all right. Is there a musical instrument that you like to learn to play now that we're talking about music?
Sorry, can you please repeat?
Sure. Is there any type of musical instrument that you like to play?
I would like to learn to play piano.
Okay. Why?
Because I enjoy listening to the music in piano. And
No.
but I think it's difficult. It's one of the most difficult instruments to learn to play.
Okay. Why do you think it's difficult?
I have heard that, so but I have no idea because I haven't tried it.
Okay. All right. Good. Right. We're finished this first part. How did you feel?
Um, Good, but I think in the moment you forget the words. I don't know why.
Like, what words were you thinking of?
And I mean, in general, like not the specific words, but you forget just like to have a normal conversation in which you can express all yourself. In
Mm-hmm.
English, I find difficult to do it.
Okay. It's true. Especially when you are being evaluated, right? You kind of get nervous and you start forgetting more things, right? All right. Tell me, what was the most difficult part for you in this conversation?
For example, when it comes to a specific words, like for example, I will say in Spanish, género musical. Uh, I struggle with find those technical words.
Oh, okay. Yes, I think that's a good point that you made. I was actually gonna say something like that. Um, Sometimes it's difficult depending on the topic. If you're not too used to speaking about specific topic, to use technical, well, not too technical, but that are words or vocabulary that we would find in this particular area, right? So in this case, when you're practicing for the IELTS or the exam that you're going to take, make sure that you practice the different areas and get to know the vocabulary that is involved in each one of them, right? Even though you don't know exactly what's the topic going to be, at least you can be more prepared if you look at several different ones. Okay, that's going to help
Okay.
you a lot. So that's
Yes.
one thing. Uh, in terms of the when you were expressing yourself, I thought it was pretty fluent. So the fact that you were connecting the ideas, that you were actually thinking about and giving answers that were accurate to your point of view, right? That's something very positive. Sometimes I felt that you kind of, I think like you might have been thinking about what to say. You went kind of slow, you know, you didn't use too many words, for example, like you didn't use that, so that's a good thing. Sometimes when we do that a lot, it kind of cuts the fluency of the conversation. So that's very positive. That's something that we should always avoid, using these expressions like well, right? Because it just cuts the fluency of what you're trying to say. And that's something that we should always take into account. Let's see what else I wrote down here. In terms of this, the grammatical structures, I felt that you actually used the proper ones when you were speaking. You, for example, at the end, you said, I had heard that. And I like the fact that even though you're not sure about it, you talk about something that someone told you and that's in the past, and you're also expressing yourself. Whenever you get the chance to talk about something that might have talk about the present and also the future or the past, it's also good because it just shows that you can use more structures when it applies. So don't try to force it like you're trying to talk about a past experience and then you come up with something in the future that has nothing to do with that. If it fits, you can use it. If it doesn't fit, don't.
Mhm. Okay.
And I think specific words, for example, you said listen music. In that case, I would say listen to music.
Listen to
That
music.
was,
Mhm.
uh-huh. And you notice when you're trying to say genre, I think
Mhm.
you said gender, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
struggle with that.
You knew that one. I mean, you knew that you were trying to figure out the correct word. Okay. All right. Any questions about this feedback?
Um, I think I still have struggled with. I mean, I think my conversation is pretty basic, and I want to improve it to get to another level. You know, like
Hmm.
for example, when you talk, you use more words, and the phrases are more long. and a longer story
Hmm.
and things like that. I want to achieve that level. I think my conversation is still very basic.
Okay. So you think because you don't use more complex words?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
That's, I'm not gonna say that's true, but to a certain extent that is beneficial. To a certain extent, it's not. Because it really depends on the context, right? If the, like I said before, if the context allows you to say something and express yourself with more technical terms, that's good. It's something positive. But if you're trying to overuse it and trying to fit words where they might not belong, then that's going to affect you negatively. Okay. So it's like a play of, yes, use some of the basic structures, including some of the more complex whenever you can, right?
Yeah.
All
And I
right.
think one of the mistakes that ones make is when you try to remember a complex word, that's when you use like those things that cut the conversation.
Yes. Well, it's good practice also to paraphrase, right? There's sometimes this happens very often where you want to say a specific word and you don't remember it, and it's very specific. In that moment, you can stay there thinking for about 30 seconds, you're not going to say anything. So in this case, this is when you got to search for your resources of different ways that you can express yourself and say, go around it. Like, for example, you want to talk about a laptop and you forgot how to say laptop, and you say, oh, this device that you use to go into the internet. You know, it's not the right way that you want to say, but at least you're not cutting the fluency of the conversation. All right. Are you ready for the part two?
I think so.
You think so? Okay. So in this case, I'm going to show you a topic, and you're going to have 1 minute to prepare for this topic, and then you'll have 2 minutes to talk about this topic. Okay. So I'm going to tell you when the minute starts to write about or take notes, and then I'm going to tell you to start speaking. Okay.
Okay.
When you take notes, think about the general idea of what you want to speak about. Because while you're speaking, you can look at it and you can remember what you want to say. So use it as a guide to help you about what you're going to speak, right? Don't write sentences that are complete or very long phrases, because first of all, it's going to take you a lot of time and you might not get to the end. Okay.
Okay.
Do you have something to write there?
Sorry?
Do you have a pencil or a
Yeah.
pen? Yes. Okay, good. All right. If you guys that are here have any questions, any comments, if you feel that you struggle with some aspects that we were talking about, you can also put it in the chat, share your experience with us. All right. All righty then. So I'm going to share, as I said, this first part. Okie dokie. So let's go here. Okay. Can you see it?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay. So here you have this activity that you're going to talk about. It says describe a time when you helped someone. So we did part one. It was very simple in terms of a conversation. Now, in this case, it's you speaking for this 2 minutes. So I'm not going to interrupt you at any moment unless you pass the 2 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
So what you should say. So first, you know what you have to do. Describe a time when you helped someone. So another person. You could be your friend, family. You should say. So these are the topics that you should take into account. Who you helped and why. How you helped this person. So they're all the WH question. Who, how, why, what, right? What the result was, or the result of helping this person. And explain how you felt about helping this person. Okay. So the idea is that within this 2 minutes that you're going to speak, you deal with each one of these bullet points that you have here. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to set a timer for 1 minute so that you can start taking notes and anything that you want to write about that could help you speak during these 2 minutes. Okay?
Okay.
Any questions before you start?
No.
Okay. So now I'm going to give you a topic, and I'd like for you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. Before you talk, you'll have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say, and you can make some notes if you wish. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. So I like for you to describe a time when you helped someone. You have 1 minute to take notes. Okay. Are you ready to speak?
Yes.
Okay. So you may start.
So I remember 2 years ago, I helped a close friend to find her little kitty, her kitten, who was lost 2 days ago. And I looked for the kitty in all the neighborhood and knocked up the door of all neighborhood, and we finally found the kitten. So it was a very special moment because she was so sad, and I was so sad as well because I love animals. And yeah, it was a good feeling. The result was super.
Anything else?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Now we're finished, just for you to know. So, how did you feel?
Nervous. I don't know why.
Okay. I did notice that you were more nervous in this second part than the first one.
Because I struggle remembering a time when I helped someone.
Okay. It was a good example, in fact. I like the example that you chose. But I did notice that you were more nervous. I think it was in the way that you express yourself. You were kind of going slower, and I heard kind of like your voice was kind of not even. Did you feel that
Exactly.
way?
Yeah, I feel like I forgot so many words, like for example, knocking the door, neighborhoods. Like I don't know, I just forgot how to connect every word correctly.
Right. Okay. Yes, I understand. So the topic was interesting. You answered, I believe you answered all the questions. So who, you helped a close friend. Why? Because the kitty was missing, right? How? You knocked on doors, right? What? You said it was a special moment. It was a super, you said, right? And then explain how you felt. You said you had a good feeling. This is what I remember from when the notes I took, right? So you answered all of the note, the bullet points that you have here. The only thing here is that, of course, you have 2 minutes to speak, right? So we got to try to extend your answer so that in that way you can speak approximately 1 minute and a half, 2 minutes, but at least I think it was less than 1 minute that you spoke during this part. I know it's like your
Mm.
first time, probably, if I'm not mistaken. Is this your first?
Uh,
Yes. Okay. So in this type of activity specifically.
no, I haven't taken any exam, any official exam, but I
Okay.
have done other type of exams. I don't know why I get so nervous.
Tell me, you know why you get nervous?
I don't know. I don't know why.
Because you're human. We all get nervous in exams. Don't feel bad about it. I get nervous in exams. Everyone gets nervous in exams. So it's not something bad. The thing is that when we feel nervous, what helps us being more sure of ourselves is getting better prepared. Okay. Because when we're better prepared, we kind of helps us diminish or lower this anxiety, nervous issue. So it's being nervous is not a problem. Just being more prepared helps you to deal with this being this nervousness or being anxious about what we're doing. Okay. So that's just
Okay.
for you to don't hit yourself hard over your head for that because that's not something that is bad. Okay. And well, what I would suggest in this part is the topic is wonderful. I like the topic. I would give more details, you know. I know that you said it was difficult to find the right words, but for example, imagine you were talking about a close friend. Who was this close friend? Right?
Mhm.
Who maybe I met this person when I was in primary school. We've been good friends for so long. And I know that this person loves animals the same as I do. So when I heard that he or she lost her kitty, I was crazy. I wanted to go help this person. Give a little more detail about the person. Sometimes it's not possible to do that, but in this case, you could do that.
Yeah, it's true.
For example, related to maybe you could have mentioned where this kitten was lost. Now, let me ask you a question. Was this something true or did you kind of come up with this?
No, the kitty was mine.
Did you actually help your close friend?
I didn't help any friend to find a kitty. My kitty was lost.
Oh, it's your kitty.
I
Oh,
had, yes,
okay.
I had to find myself.
Oh, okay. So nobody helped you.
No.
You're kind of speaking about you wish someone would have helped you with finding your kitty.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, did you find your kitty?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So, you know why I asked you this? Because sometimes we hear and I've searched that on the internet too, and there's some suggestions about if you don't know what to say, make it up, like invent a story. Now, I would say that that is okay if it's your last resource, that if you're absolutely you don't know what you want to write about or you don't know what you want to say about that. Okay. But I would rather find something that is true, that is that you've actually lived or a close friend, because when you talk about something that is true, you actually can search for details in the story. When you're inventing
Exactly.
something, sometimes it's difficult to find those details and it becomes a
Yeah.
more shallow conversation, a more shallow answer, which means it's not so detailed. Okay. So
Mhm.
I think that maybe that could have affected you in the sense that yours was straight to the point, but you didn't give much detail because you were
Mhm.
actually inventing the story. Is
Yes,
that?
I was lying.
Yeah, like I said, it's not that it's super bad to do that. It's not going to kill you if you can give details, but if you, I would say like a last resource doing that. You don't know what to say, last resource, but first try to find a story that may actually fit into this. Even if it's not yours, even if it's a friend's, for example, you know that your friend lost a kitty and you know the story of what happened, you can talk about this. So that's for me, it's a very strong suggestion because I think that we can give more details when it's something that we've experienced or we know someone that has experienced too.
Yes,
All right.
thank you.
No problem. Do you have any questions about any of the two parts that we've done together at this time?
No,
Do
no
you have any
questions
other
for now.
question? Oh, sorry, interrupted. Hold on, let me stop sharing. Do you have any questions about anything else that you were talking about? You said, oh, I have some questions, I think you said it. Or are they clear?
Um, I'm afraid that the oral exam
Hmm.
is going to be more like complicated, because this is still complicated for me,
Hmm.
but I think the IELTS is another level. Like they can ask you questions that are not that simple, you know. Like I'm
Hmm.
afraid of that. Is this true?
Okay. I'm not going to lie. The IELTS, the speaking part is difficult, especially the part two and part three. I think I would say the most difficult are those two parts because, well, as you experience, you need to talk about a specific topic for 2 minutes, right? Sometimes it's hard to try to extend your answers. You don't know the topic beforehand, so you have to kind of come up with that in a minute, right? And then the speaking, the third part is actually having questions that are more abstract. For example, I could ask you, what is your opinion? I think I had a one here I was going to share with you. Hold on, just give me a moment. Mm, 2, 3:15. Yes, give me just a moment. For example, I could ask you related to shopping. So why do you think shopping is such a popular activity, right? So this is your opinion about it. But if you give an answer that is too broad, maybe it's not so specific, or you don't give your opinion about it, then obviously this is going to affect you. What I think is that more than more than having prepared answers or it, I think it's practicing and also being more prone to giving more, how can I say this in a way that it doesn't sound like not improvising, but feeling that you can be more flexible with your language. So for example, you get a topic about maybe shopping and you don't go shopping, you don't know anything about shopping, but you can kind of manage this topic by speaking about it. So it's being
Okay,
more than having very strong vocabulary skills or very strong grammar skills, being able to be so you're more flexible when you're speaking, you can speak about different topics, not necessarily including so many difficult words. I think that's not the most important. I think that being more flexible and when you speak, it's going to help you with that. And the way when the more you practice, the more you're going to be more flexible with it.
okay,
All right.
thank you. Mhm.
All right. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being here and practicing. You're
Mm,
very brave because being
yeah,
here and
I
doing this
wasn't
activity.
prepared for that. I wasn't prepared, but I say I need to to achieve this goal, and the goal is to uh, pass the exam. So you
Yes.
have to be brave for
Yes, that's right.
that.
Exactly. And like I said, don't feel bad because you feel nervous. That's totally normal. It's just the practice is going to help us to feel more sure in the exam. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time. And you can always come here to practice or be in the other en vivo live sessions to get the topics. Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Bye bye. All right, guys. Si tienen alguna pregunta, algún comentario, ¿qué les pareció la práctica que hicimos con Laura? ¿Les gustó? ¿Les pareció interesante? ¿Les ayudó? ¿Cierto? Creo que es algunos puntos muy interesantes que tratamos aquí con respecto a la parte uno. Creo que lo más importante que podemos resaltar de esta práctica que tuvimos con Laura es principalmente, hablando de la parte uno, es el tema de practicar diferentes temas, porque obviamente nos puede tocar cualquiera de los temas, diferentes temas de diferentes áreas. Generalmente se focalizan en algunas, pero es bueno tener esa flexibilidad de poder hablar de diferentes aspectos en el examen, ¿cierto? También cuando estamos en la parte 2 buscar la posibilidad de tener una conversación sobre algo que es real, algo que realmente sucedió, porque eso nos va a ayudar a que podamos dar más detalle en nuestra charla. Así que bueno, si tienen alguna pregunta, lo pueden dejar aquí en el chat. Espero que les haya gustado muchísimo esta práctica. Nos vamos a seguir haciendo esta práctica, entonces si ustedes quieren conectarse, pueden estar pendientes a las historias de Instagram. Ahí voy a estar publicando cuando tenga este tipo de prácticas que hasta ahora van a ser todas las semanas, entonces sería muy bueno que puedan practicar y aprovechar esta gran oportunidad de hablar y tener un feedback al respecto. Entonces, eso es todo por hoy. Muchísimas gracias por su tiempo. I hope that you enjoyed, that you learned something today. And obviously, I'll see you later. Nos vemos entonces la próxima semana para más en vivos, más actividades y que realmente puedan pasar el IELTS en 8 semanas de preparación. Así que thank you so much for your time and I'll see you guys later.